Let's get the party started.
Oh, baby!
When was the last time you shit your pants?
You think I'm a goddamn fool?
I shit my pants last night.
It's a beautiful planet.
Well, it's a moon, for sure.
I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. Put that in your package, folks.
What's up, everybody? Josh with the Clearing Waivers podcast coming at you for another week of the Clearing Waivers podcast. Hope everybody's week was great. We're here. We're on Wednesday, halfway through the week, depending on when you're listening to this. So keep going. Your momentum has carried you through Monday and Tuesday, a snowy Tuesday afternoon for some stupid reason. But you're almost there, almost to the weekend. Keep rolling. Tonight we've got a very special show. Once again, returning guests Joel Penfield and Alex Duvall from Royals Farm Report are with us. If you're seeing the video, you can see their beautiful faces here on the screen. Boys, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're hanging in there. Yeah, it's cold in Oklahoma too. This is a bunch of bull. Like this is terrible.
Not what we signed up for in late April.
Not at all.
No, I walked outside this morning. There's an inch of snow on the ground, and when I walked out of my 4th hour class, this, like, I don't know, 11:30 or noon today, all the snow was gone. So
all gone. Yep.
I have absolutely no idea what world I walked out of today, but I was happy that the snow was gone.
Yep, that's for sure. I was telling my brother earlier today that my neighbor has started to clean out their pool, and it's all full and looks like a normal midsummer pool at this point. Just see big old fat wet snowflakes falling into it. It was quite a scene here in the Midwest. So very odd day, but yeah, well, I think we're back up in the 50s and 60s here by the weekend. So hopefully we'll be able to get out and enjoy that weather a little bit. But we appreciate you guys coming on. I was on the Royals Farm podcast last week, so go check it out also on the royalsreview.com podcast channel. But had a lot of fun with you guys talking, a little bit of the Royals rookies so far. And then we did a little preview of the low A and high A minor league teams. And you guys got the preview of the Northwest Arkansas and the Omaha lineups coming up here this week, right?
Yep, that should be out on Friday. That at least should be. I produce the thing, and sometimes it goes up on Thursday, sometimes on Saturday. I have a 6-month-old kid. It throws everything out of whack, man.
Yeah, 100%. And I think all of us have kind of lived through that, except for Kitty. Kitty's the lone bachelor of the group, and he's singling it up for us all.
That's right. Just trying to live my best life of doing whatever the hell I want, whenever I want.
A lot of golf for that guy. No big deal, though.
That's right.
We're not jealous. It's not a thing. Well, we do appreciate you guys joining us again this week. We wanted to talk a little bit of the Royals prospects with you guys. You're doing the great work there at royalsfarmreport.com is where I started writing. You guys gave me my first break in kind of covering the Kansas City sports scene, so appreciative of that. And here we are. This is where it all was leading, guys. Just
it's all coming full circle.
A C- podcast is where we were always headed.
Hey, C's get degrees and C's make the podcast.
That's right. That got me a college degree, baby. But you guys are always doing great work there at the royalsfarmreport.com, following the prospects within the system. You guys are always covering the draft, the pre-draft, and kind of looking at the potential draftees, which is always fun to kind of keep tabs on. I always like to follow that. But tonight we're going to focus on the Royals system. Got some questions about some of these prospects that we might be talking about here shortly for the Royals over the next couple seasons. And then you're going to join us for the Shenanigans. We've got a fun DFA. We're going to hit you some Family Feud style podcast versus podcast DFA tonight. So, and then we're going to hit a very fun draft for everyone. So I'm excited to get through it. Let's get into it here with the Clearing the Waivers here.
We're clearing the waivers.
So we wanted to kind of, like I said, focus more on what's going on with the Royals and the Royals farm system at this point. So let's dip our toes in there to start off here with you guys. A lot of casual Royals fans listening to us right now. We don't have, I'm guessing there aren't a lot of casual Royals fans that are kind of keeping close tabs on the farm system, but with you guys kind of having your finger in both pies here, we wanted to get a little taste of what is one player that casual Royal fans may not know about right now, but you guys see contributing to this 2021 season this year that we might see here? Joel, I'll start with you, man.
If there's one guy that I think casual Royals fans might not know a lot about, there's a ton of pitching prospects in the system that have gotten a lot of run. We've already seen Brady Singer and Chris Bubich. Jackson Kowar, Daniel Lynch are not too far behind. Asa Lacy was the first-round pick last year. But Alec Marsh is another guy that's kind of helium rising through the system a little bit. I believe we have him in our top 10. I believe I'm like at 8 or 9, something like that. And it's an upper 90s fastball with some plus breaking stuff. He's the guy that probably can pitch out of the bullpen this year if they really need it. And considering some of the stuff we're watching in the current game tonight, if you know about the game on Wednesday, of what we're seeing, it's not great. So Alec Marsh is a guy that you could probably pencil in to give you some decent innings if need be out of the bullpen.
I like that. Speaking of Alec, how about Alex? What do you think here? What's the one guy?
Well, I was gonna cheat a little bit. I don't know how unknown or how little known Emmanuel Rivera is at this point, third baseman out of Puerto Rico. Emmanuel Rivera, with the way that the Royals aren't hitting, could provide something at third base. I've never been his biggest fan, but based on need and based on where he's at in his development, I think he's a guy that we could see. But in terms of a guy that I don't think maybe anybody is keeping track of, nobody I've heard talk about that I could think could pitch in the bullpen, Carlos Santabria. Carlos Santabria came over to Kansas City. He's pitched his entire career in Houston to this point. But in Double-A in 2019 as a 22-year-old, 3.11 ERA with over 11.5 strikeouts per 9 and 55 innings out of the bullpen. Big fastball, really good changeup, good curveball to go with it. Reminds me a little bit of Jake Brent's from the right side, where the stuff plays. The stuff is really good, but it's always been an issue of command in the minor leagues. So if they can right that ship, then I think you're looking at a guy like Jake Brent who can come in, get some strikeouts, big fastball, and really make an impact. Maybe not in the late innings, but in the middle innings, make a big impact in the middle of that bullpen.
I like that. I was wondering about him. They did pick him up off the waivers, and then almost immediately they DFA'd him almost to get him off that 40-man roster. So I was wondering what was going to happen with him. I almost forgot about him at this point because of that. It kind of seemed like they were a little bit writing him off, but I'm very curious about that arm too. And Emmanuel Rivera made a hell of a case there in spring training. He was actually turning some heads, kind of little grumblings of potentially making it out of camp on that roster, but ultimately did get sent down. But yeah, I like that answer too. I'd like to see what's in store for him as well.
Yeah, and speaking of a hell of a spring training, we can't have the Farm Report guys on and not talk about the chosen one. Got everybody hyped in the spring because we started out the spring saying no way Bobby Witt Jr. makes this roster, and he kept staying around. So they finally said, okay, guys, he's not going to make the open day roster. When they send him to the minors, Dayton says we're going to play him all over the field defensively and kind of see how that goes, and then we can talk about it later and evaluate this as the season goes. So I just want to get your guys' feedback on what level you think he starts out at, and is it true that we see him moved around all over the field, or do you think we'll see him primarily at a position and maybe, yes, kind of a game or two at second base and a game or two at center field, or do you see him playing primarily one position?
Yeah, Joel and I earlier this spring, we were talking about Bobby Witt Jr. not even making the big leagues in 2021. So what he did in spring training was incredible. In terms of where he starts, I would guess Double-A. I think that's pretty consensus view at this point that he'll go to Double-A. I say that, but they've been running Double-A scrimmages that he's not been a part of. So it is entirely possible he starts off in Omaha because he's still at the alternate site with guys who are mostly on the 40-man roster. In terms of position, I think it's really important that when we talk about Bobby Witt Jr.'s position, that we talk about need versus his development. Like as a shortstop, he is really good. He is really, really talented there in the 6-hole, and he moves mostly based on whatever the team needs. So if the Royals feel like they need a center fielder, they feel confident in plugging him in out there. That is not an indictment on his defensive ability at all, because his position, his primary position, is shortstop until further notice. But that's the beauty of his athleticism, is if the Royals need a second baseman, he can probably play there. Third base, probably. Center field, apparently. But really, he is so young and athletic that I really think he can fill in wherever you need him. But I think it's really important we make sure to remind everybody that this is based on where does he fit in the Royals lineup? How can they get him in the lineup? And not a matter of his defensive ability, because he is really good, like gold glove caliber at shortstop.
Yeah, I think Double A is more realistic. I think they're still giving him a legitimate run at the alternate site to see maybe he can go to Triple A, like Alex said. But I think Double A is probably the move in where they put him. And I do think that Dayton Moore was correct that they want to see what he has positionally. Can he play short? Can he play second? Can he play center field? Which and I know people wanted to, cry service time manipulation, whatever. Dude's 21 years old, hasn't played a full season of minor league ball, and he got like a little over 100 at bats in rookie ball. So it's not service time manipulation. It's legitimately, and the Royals don't do that to begin with. They're not one of those teams that tries to game that and try and start that clock whenever. So he's a guy that, and I think he showed legitimately the bat can play right now. It's not going to play every single day. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be swing and miss, but the power's there. The gap-to-gap power, the ability to stretch a single or double the speed plays, everything that he is as advertised, at least to this point. He's only going to get better. But I think they do want to give him at-bats consistently in the minor leagues and if he mashes, he's hitting 320 with, an OPS right around 900 by the end of May. Wouldn't surprise me if we see him moved up quickly. And
yeah, buddy.
It would not surprise me if he is in Kansas City by July. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. And if Michael A kind of starts to regress toward the mean, or Nicky is who he is. But if the Royals want to get someone who's actually going to be worth a damn at the plate for the most part, and actually barrel up a baseball, then Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be that guy. And I think moving him around the diamond is a little bit of a, showing some of these guys like Michael A. Taylor and Nicky Lopez and, whoever else, hey, this dude can take your spot like now. And we're giving him the opportunity to play at these positions to show that he can take your spot. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him in that play, especially if one of these dudes starts struggling very quickly.
It's a warning shot to be like, get your shit together, because we're giving you the similar opportunity to show that you can stick, and you're going to deny him that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. When Dayton Moore said we're going to put him down in the minors to start the year, give him consistent at bats and move him around the diamond, they're trying to get him up fast and trying to see who struggles so that they have the opportunity to bring him up. Because I do believe, and there were all of those articles that got written that Mike Matheny was pounding the table for him. Guys like Witt and other dudes in the locker room were like, we want this guy on the roster. Service time be damned. This dude helps us win. We want him here now, which I think tells you the type of player that he is and how the organization really does believe in him. It's not hype. It's really, this is how good of a player Bobby Witt Jr. is.
And it seemed to me too, like when we got there at the end and it became kind of apparent that maybe second base was kind of our hole we needed to fill at the time, when we weren't sure about what Nicky was bringing to the plate at all. And we were kind of okay with sending him down before Mondesi went down. And it's just like Dayton he said he didn't get enough time at second base. He felt comfortable throwing him out there. He wanted to have him ready at a certain position, because it seemed like last year in the alt site, they played him a lot third, shortstop. We didn't see it, but maybe some outfield. And so I think they, like you said, they move him around, but what it triggered to me was maybe like a Trey Turner when he first came in the league. I mean, his bat was ready, but they needed him in center field, and he played mostly in center field and a little bit of second base, a little bit of shortstop. But then when his natural position of short came open, that's when he took it over. So I wonder if that's kind of what we see with Bobby. He fits it. He fills in a hole, like you said. If Michael A. Taylor's not hitting, not doing his job, maybe he plays that for the rest of the year, and then we figure out from there what going forward he's a strength.
That would be a fun. Carrington Harrison always does that. Hit a button and turn a player into player X. Would you hit the button or not? That's an interesting example with Trey Turner. It would be very tempting to do, but we can take a quick poll. Anybody interested in hitting the button if you get Trey Turner right now?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Trey Turner are we getting?
I think the current version, not like the one that's kind of struggled to put anything in play in the first year or two.
Yeah, Trey Turner. I mean, that's so. I'm going to get to another guy here in a second, Trey Turner, went through a stretch there where he's very league average, which is fine. He's league average.
Yeah.
Defense, 2.5 to 3.5 win player with a 4 in there. Almost a 5-win season in there. The last 2 years, Trey Turner, a 158 and a 141 WRC plus. Like that Trey Turner, I hit that button right now, and we can stop talking about it. But Trey Turner, he struggled to stay healthy there for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Struggled to really see the impacts there for a while. So if I'm getting the non-injured version of Trey Turner, every single day of the week, Trevor Story is the same. I think Trevor Story is maybe a closer comp.
That's the other comp I keep seeing a lot of. Yeah.
That's the one. If you could sub Trevor Story for Trey Turner, I'd hit that button right now.
Oh yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe without the strikeouts, he does K a lot, but everything else he does is really
dude
good.
Still won a Silver Slugger, and I'm pretty sure he's won a Gold Glove. Like that'll work.
Yeah, that'll play. Kitty.
All right, yeah. So I am the prototypical casual fan. That Emmanuel Rivera, I didn't know who you were talking about. You could have told me he was a pitcher, and I'd have believed you. So, with
sounds
that
like
said,
a pitcher name, to be honest.
Yeah.
With that said, so obviously I know about the 3 pitchers coming up with Lynch, Lacey, and Kowar as the big names everyone was talking about in spring. But as they always say, there's no such thing as a pitching prospect. I mean, anything can go wrong with pitching. So how much depth is there behind those guys if, God forbid, something goes wrong and those guys don't hit? Is there still hope behind those 3 where Royals fan can hang their hat on?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dave, seriously, it is the dramatic – because a few years ago we were talking – when we started this site in 2017, Foster Griffin was our best pitching prospect.
Yep.
Foster Griffin today, the same player, the same prospect that Foster Griffin was, not what Foster Griffin is, what he was back then, doesn't crack the top 30.
Yeah.
I mean, Joel hit on Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh, really, really good. Reminds me, or I guess at draft time, reminded me of Jacob Junis a little bit. Now his repertoire has unfolded a little bit. He's clearly going to have 3 or 4 pitches to take with him. But the fastball slider combo out of Arizona State reminded me a lot of Junis. Jonathan Bolin, 2nd round pick out of Memphis, huge dude, good control. Heard, the negative reports on him are that his secondary pitches are sort of sporadic, but he's always got one. It's just a matter of getting them all honed in. Austin Cox, a big lefty out of Mercer. They took him in the 5th round, but everything I've heard was more like a 2nd round grade on him. So they were ecstatic to have him. And my favorite dude is the maybe lesser known Jeffrey Del Rosario, who's finally healthy and pitching for the Royals. I think he's with the high A squad. There is a ton of talent there. I mean, that dude is really, really talented. He came over to the Royals in the Braves scandal. But between him and Johansen Morel, we've got a couple of really talented young Latin arms. But it just keeps going. And, I mean, the depth of potential, all you need is 1 or 2 of those guys to pop, and now you've got 5 legitimate starting pitching prospects that are all really talented. But they have done such a good job of acquiring depth and building depth through the system that it is almost, there's no such thing as a sure thing, but they're going to get 3, 4, or 5 starting pitchers out of here to where they don't have to spend their entire free agent payroll on their rotation.
Because I'm a mega Oklahoma State homer, I'm throwing my guy John Heasley in there because
I was like, "There's no way Joel's getting through this without mentioning Heasley. No way."
Heasley's my guy. I gotta bring, but he's a guy that when the Royals drafted him, I'm like, okay, that dude's 100% gonna be a reliever. He's throwing a sinker up there, 95, 96 with crazy run, good slider, good overhand curve, decent changeup. But he's put it all together. He's shown that he can start. I don't think he's going to start at the big league level. Maybe like a swingman type, kind of doing what Junis is doing right now. He's someone that can pitch in a big league bullpen probably by next year. And he's a lesser known guy. Kind of, he was a 10th or 11th round pick, draft eligible sophomore. But he's turned himself. He's not even at his ceiling yet. And his ceiling has raised significantly since coming to the Royal system.
Yeah, big spin guy. Which I know is kind of a buzzword, but when you can't teach guys to spin it like that. Like you can teach velo, go get in the weight room. Here's a few things we're going to tweak. You can teach velo to an extent. You can't teach kids to spin it like that without foreign substances. So his ability to spin the ball, his fastball and his curveball, just give him a trait that not a lot of guys have, especially with as high profile as his spins are. So I've been wrong about him a lot. I was like Joel. I was pretty sure he was a reliever, but my goodness, man, he has just continued to get better. He's a guy that is going to be fun to watch just because his stuff is electric.
Also had a good spring too. Look, good reports coming out of spring training about Heasley for sure. And it's good to have that depth because you got the main guys, and then you have a bunch of guys where you're like, well, maybe they'll be a really good reliever, and that's where your head and your expectations already are. So it's almost, as a Royals fan and out of the baseball fan, knowing the dropout or the flop rate of pitching prospects, it's good to have low expectations for some of these dudes that it's just waiting to pop. So I'm interested in that for sure.
Oh, hey, we got to talk about our guy Will Klein too. Triple digits from with a just bastard of a changeup. It's disgusting. He was a guy that the Royals took in the 5th round last year out of Eastern Illinois. He's refined his mechanics. He's found more velo, and we have him at number 13 in our system on our rankings. And I don't even think he's top 30 anywhere else. Maybe Pipeline has him like at the back end of the top 30, but
They do. They've got him at 27.
okay, yeah. But we are incredibly high on him because, again, it's the velo with the chain. Like, he's probably going to be a reliever, but it's 100, but easy 100 with that changeup and some working in some other breaking balls too. He's gross, and we're going to see him very quickly. That's a dude that's going to rise very, very fast through the system.
Well, we had his pitching coach that not his like a private guy that he works with, Coach Vogt. We had him on talking about Will this offseason on our podcast over Royals Farm. And he was like, Will caught through high school, and he didn't get on the mound until he was in college. So kind of like with Kyle Zimmer, and I hate to bring Kyle Zimmer.
Ooh. Speaking of buzzwords.
Where Kyle Zimmer played shortstop in college, and the thought was that he's raw, but he's still a really good pitcher, but he's raw, and there's more development to come. It's not so dissimilar with Will Klein, where he didn't start pitching until he got to college. And Joel was talking, he found more velo. Like, he was 99 in college. And he's been 101. Like, it is filthy. Like, the ball coming out of his hand is filthy. Which, again, the profile typically you read that scouting report and you think reliever. I don't think so. His mechanics are clean. They're repeatable. They're short. They're compact. I mean, I could not be more excited about a guy that nobody else is this excited about than Will Klein, because again, like a lot of other dudes, the Royals have just continued to stockpile in the system. His stuff is electric, and at least, like, if you're going to buy a lottery ticket, you might as well buy 20, right?
That's how I've always lived.
They've just continued to stockpile them.
The funniest thing about Will Klein is when we put our rankings out, we put out our top 50. We had him at 13. We got a very random tweet from the Eastern Illinois baseball team. They made a graphic and said, congratulations to Will Klein for being ranked number 13 according to Royals.
Yeah.
So we were like, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Validation.
little validation from a mid-major school in Eastern Illinois. Thank you very much for that.
Shout out to Eastern Illinois.
So you guys have mentioned a lot of names we're going to see in the minor leagues this year. So let's take a road trip. It's a fun time sometimes to take a road trip to a town you've never been, smaller ballpark in a minor league game, more intimate setting. You can get up close and personal with these guys. So let's take all things considered: location, the stadium maybe, and what players are likely to play in there this summer. And where are you taking your road trip to see the minor league affiliate in the Royal system this year?
Go ahead, Joel.
I'm probably going to say Columbia. Go to the Columbia Fireflies down in South Carolina. It's not Columbia's not near the beach, is it? I don't think that's not like near Charleston or anything like that. So
I think it's pretty in the middle, right? Central.
Yeah,
I think so.
but either way, my a friend of mine that plays in the Mets system went to Oklahoma State, and they were the low A team when he was there, and he loved it there. He said it was an awesome town, good ballpark, good fan base that actually comes out and shows out for the team and stuff, and just seems like a pretty good area. And I've never been to South Carolina, so I figured that would be might as well go. If you're going to go and take a road trip, you're going to go the furthest away you can, right? So
There you
that
go.
That would be kind of where I go.
Depends on who you're driving with, but yes.
Fair enough. Yeah.
There's about 71 episodes of the Clearing Waivers podcast that'll keep you real good company.
I hate this question mostly because I'm a travel man, Like, I love to be on the move. My wife and I travel and camp all the time. So this is a really hard question for me to answer because like each city has their own really unique like experiences. Like Quad Cities, like in terms of stadium and the players who are going to be at Quad Cities, like the baseball aspect of it, I'd probably say Quad Cities. Like Joel said, you drive to Columbia, you got to drive through Tennessee. It's a beautiful country. You're not too far from the beach. Northwest Arkansas is probably going to have Bobby Witt Jr. Arkansas is kind of slept on as a state, the natural state for a reason. Northwest Arkansas is beautiful. Like if you like to hike and camp, it's a beautiful area. Omaha is the biggest city, got the zoo and all that. So, I mean, I hate that question just because I can't make up my mind. If I had to pick this year, I would probably be in Northwest Arkansas because I think that's where Asa Lacy's going to be. I think that's where Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be. I think you're going to catch some younger guys there over time as they move their way up. And again, I love camping and Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas has got some beautiful landscapes. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with Northwest Arkansas.
All right.
That's so I'm repping tonight. Got one of those limited edition hats from the old Northwest Arkansas Naturals.
Very cool hat, by the way. Like
I
that
loved it.
is an A+ hat.
It was a immediate cop on when I saw it. I immediately got it. I dig it. One of the things I love the most about Royals Farm Report is just the optimism. And you guys are very, and that's maybe just the fact that it's the farm system of the Kansas City Royals. Whenever, in any given moment, that's where the hope lies most of the time. But you guys are very optimistic about guys. And I don't want any of that right now. I want, I'm going to flip you on your heads and I'm going to say, who's the one guy that is getting way too much hype right now that you're ready to just denounce altogether? Maybe that's a little strong. Maybe they're just getting a little bit too overhyped in the system. Who's the one guy that you're kind of more down on than the rest of the pipeline, if you will?
For me, it's Lucius Fox, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves is baseball's like inability to move quickly sometimes, like with common sense stuff like blackout restrictions or letting the kids play and not suspending Nick Castellanos. Like they're so slow to adapt and to change.
Getting replays correct.
Yeah, so like if Baseball America MLB Pipeline think highly of somebody coming out of the draft and then they're horrible for 2 years, they're still probably going to be in the top 100 2 years later because they had high on them coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
Lucius Fox was in the Rays top 30, and so he was traded over here. He was in our top 30 when he got here, and he has done absolutely nothing and is still in the top 30. Like the Royal system is better than this. Lucius Fox will never, ever for any reason be a starter in the big leagues like every day.
Mm-hmm.
And the Royals have 30 other dudes who could potentially be that. Lucius Fox, like, I don't even think Lucius Fox could ever be Nicky Lopez. Like, I don't even think he's that good. So for Lucius Fox to continue being in the top 30, like, it's not his fault. I think he's a fine piece to have. Like, if you're just asking me, hey, do you want Lucius Fox in the Royals minor league system or not? I'd be like, okay, I mean, yeah, I'll take him if he's for free.
Good organizational depth.
I don't understand the love for him. Like, MLB Pipeline has him 26th, right in front of Will Klein. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. You got a righty that throws 101 and a guy who hit like 230 in the minor leagues. Like, I don't understand. The Royals have like 4 Lucius Foxes in their system. They have 3 or 4 guys that throw 101.
The minute I saw that trade with Brett Phillips and Lucius Fox, I was like, why wouldn't that happen? That was destined to happen a long time ago.
100%. The only reason Lucius Fox is in these rankings, in my opinion, is he keeps the Mike Moustakas trade alive. Once they DFA Fox, the Mike Moustakas trade is dead.
It's dead.
So, I don't get it, man. Whatever. He's fast, sure. The Royals just DFA'd a really fast guy, so
right.
That's what they're banking on. It ain't it. So he's kind of my guy.
That makes a lot.
Yeah, my guy is I'm gonna go with Sulu Matias. I mean, the power is
mute him.
ridiculous.
Can we mute him?
There are only so many Joey Gallos out there, man. And
get him to stop talking.
I had to pick somebody. I had to answer the damn question. And it's not like I'm saying I'm like completely like, no, he's awful and get him out of here. But like, he strikes out and swings and misses so much that the power, like it almost cancels itself out. Like for every 500-foot home run that he hits, like he hit that ball he hit in Arizona that I don't think has landed yet. There's about 15 strikeouts in a row. It's not even like he has the Joey Gallo quality of being a really good defender. He's not very great in the outfield.
Mm.
So maybe he can carve out a path somewhere, but I can't get as excited about it because like those, the 3 true outcome guys, it's very much a part of the big leagues now, but there's so much swing and miss, like the hit tool is almost non-existent.
Let me ask you this though. How many guys do you know that can hit baseballs 500 feet?
Not many. I understand there's
How
not
many
many
guys
like 80.
do you know that can strike out in every plate appearance?
Everyone.
I can do it. I know you guys strike out in all your plate appearances. The thing that sets them apart is the 500-foot home runs. Like that's part of the story.
Yeah, and like I'm not so out on it. Like I think I still had him in my top 15. Like it's not like I'm so out on him, but I don't think the hype is just, unless he proves me wrong this year and it goes back to what he did in 2018 when he hit 30 home runs in Lexington. If he goes back to that, then I'll eat crow, and I'm perfectly fine doing that. But until I see that again, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant.
There's a guy in the rankings who I am not necessarily not high on, but that is kind of funny, like in the way that we evaluate people's farm systems. Like, so Ben Hernandez, 2nd round pick, prep kid out of Chicago area. I wouldn't rank a prep starter in the Royal system if he threw 108. I don't care how good he is. I don't care if he kicks the ball, throws it left-handed, or bounces off his head. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care about anything. If he's, drafted out of high school and goes right into the Royal system, I ain't ranking him. I'm not doing it. So we had Ben Hernandez out of our top 30. He is number 15 on MLB Pipeline's Royals top 30s list. He's number 13 in Baseball America's list. Fangraphs doesn't have theirs out yet. So I think that's more evaluating the talent of the player and not necessarily the system that is around him.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cleveland Indians have shown time and time again, if you give them an 18-year-old who can throw a baseball, he'll probably win a Cy Young Award. So the way that we evaluate guys based on the system they're in is still, I think, it lags behind. I also just noticed that Baseball America still has Scott Blewett in their Royals top 30 prospects.
Whoa.
Speaking of being slow to move on.
Whoa. That's impressive. Interesting. Well, that's
Answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, we had multiple good answers there that that make a lot of sense for sure. What I've learned tonight is that even I could get in the weight room and throw 108 at some point, and and I mean that's just it's going to happen. So I have my goal. Yeah, I have my goal to finish out my baseball career and probably my life. So it's going to be exciting either way.
Second, the rookie with Josh Kaiser.
Sacrificing your UCL for the good of going 108. Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's doable and it's going to be done.
We have 2 arms.
Next year. It's a good point, and they're doing a lot of good thing with orangutan arms later. So let's see how it goes here. Well, we've cleared the waivers. We're gonna get on to the next one now. We're gonna get a little loose. We've got the drinks poured, and some of us are already done with theirs. No big deal, but we're going to make this a little bit competitive, and it's going to get a little fiery in this week's Shenanigans because we're going to start off with a podcast in our DFA Family Feud style, which I will explain right after we get to our sexy theme song.
Hope I don't get DFA.
So like I said, this DFA is going to be Family Feud style, and here are the rules. It's Family Feud with sports. Any questions? Great. So like I said, we're going to be podcast versus podcast, Kitty and Brian versus Alex and Joel. We've got 3 rounds here, and I've got the point system kind of arbitrarily established here, and I'll explain that per round. It'll differ a little bit, but they're all Royals themed. So we're going to kind of keep it narrowed down with that. One of these is going to be very hard, so I'm just going to throw that out there as well. Probably should have done away with that one, but
good luck, Brian.
Doesn't matter here. So first off, we need a showdown between, let's say Brian and Joel are going to be the first contestants here. So I'm going to read the question. You're going to give me your best answer. I got a top 7 question on this one, on this first one. If you think you got the answer, buzz in by saying your name. Whoever buzzes in first will get to go. Cool.
Got it.
Everybody knows how Family Feud go. Here we go. The top 7 player draft bonuses in Royals history belong to
Bobby Witt
Joel.
Jr.
Go.
number 1.
What's up?
Bobby Witt Jr.
Is correct with $7.8 million in 2019. Do you guys want to play or pass this category?
We'll play. Why not?
Play in it. I like it. So each one of these answers is worth 20 points apiece. They're not scaled because I'm an idiot. So we're going to go with that for now. Let me make sure I got the score here taken care of. Okay. So you said you're going to play this round?
Might as well.
Okay. Alex, what do you think? Another one of the top 7 Royals bonuses.
We'll get the easy one out of the way. Bubba Starling.
Bubba Starling is number 2 with $7.5 million draft bonus.
What a waste of money.
Joel, there's still jury's still out on him. He's still young, I think.
Not my jury. My jury has come back with a verdict.
The verdict is in, and he is. Yeah. Joel.
Go Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer, number 4 with $6 million. Very good. Up to 60 points right now. Alex.
I know Lacey got 6 mil, so we'll go Lacey.
Lacey apparently got 6.7 million at number 3.
They're going to clear this board.
Top 4, we got 3 more to go. Back to Joel. No options yet either, guys.
Nope.
Moose is number 6 with $4 million. Very good.
Okay, so I know Singer got he was at number 18. He got 4, didn't he? He got 4. Brady Singer.
Brady Singer is number 5. Correct. Wow.
Impressive.
One more to go.
Wow.
Number 7. He's the lowest one of this round. So who's number 7?
I'll try and go Alex Gordon.
Bingo, nailed it. He also got 4 mil.
Wow.
Cleared the board, boys.
Without a strike.
Anybody know what Dozier
Oh man.
What's up?
What did Dozier get? Anybody know what Dozier got?
I am not
He was
sure.
under slot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He
But he
was
was-
under slot, but he still got a good bonus.
Slot at number 8 would be
Guys
Yeah.
know too much about the draft, Brian. That's a tough question for us.
Yep. And they didn't even get an option.
I'd have been embarrassed with my answers with these guys on the pod
You
here.
guys are big time trouble after this.
Kyle Zimmer
Big
couldn't
time.
beat Alex Gordon.
Gordon. That was good.
Yep. Trust me. Pulling that Alex Gordon was pretty clutch.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Would not have thought about that.
No.
All right. Well, let's move on to round number 2 with a 140-point deficit.
Whoops.
Good luck.
They triple.
If we could have won, at least if we could have won that round, we could have kept them only like 40 points
That's right. Yeah.
when they stole it.
That's right. So it's going to be Kitty versus Alex here. Same rules apply. If you think you got an answer, shout your name, and we'll go with that. So this category is going to be the top 5 Royals in WAR according to Baseball Reference in Royals all time in a Royals uniform.
Brad,
Go.
George Brett.
Oh, I should also put a caveat and not name George Brett. Sorry, I should have said that. We should have got that out of the way.
What?
So let's start
I'll
over.
go
Not George
Beltran.
Brett.
Beltran.
Beltran
you,
is
so.
not an answer.
Yeah.
Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson is on that answer. He's a 42.4 WAR in a Royals uniform.
Kitty, you got screwed. I'm sticking with you, buddy.
Alex, do you guys want to play or pass this category? Need
How many
5
we got?
answers. Top 5.
Yeah, 4 left here.
We'll play, Joel.
I like it.
Is this,
I like the
you said not George Brett, but it's hitters and pitchers.
and pitchers. Yep. Bingo. These are all going to be worth the points are going to be how much WAR they have over their Royals career. So instead of 20 points, you're going to be higher than that at this point. So Joel, you need 4 more. Who you got?
Brett Saberhagen.
Sabes, 40.7. Correct. We're going to round up as well on that. Very good. Three to go. Back to Alex. Those might be the two easier ones too.
I feel like Amos Otis is like number one or not number one, but outside of George Brett, I feel like he might have the most F WAR of all time. I'm not too sure what the difference between Baseball Reference and Fangraphs is at the moment. So Amos Otis.
Number 2. That's not named George Brett. Very good. He had 44.8. They're gonna kill it here. Back to Joel.
Good.
2 more to go.
And I'm gonna go with Gordo just because he played 16 years.
Good guess.
It's a very good guess. He is number 6 behind, just outside of the mark. So that's your first option. Good guess though.
Wilson, Otis, and Sabes.
Yep.
All right, this is my initial guess. I'm gonna go Kevin Apier.
Apier is number 1 with 47.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That blew my mind. Yep. I had no idea.
Wow.
No idea. The only person that I would not have guessed even more is the last answer here. Joel, we're back to you.
Oh, good.
One option.
Mike Sweeney? I don't know.
Also a good answer. He was not who we're looking for. Another good answer though.
Yeah.
I feel like this
Down
one's
to
gonna
Alex.
slap us right in the face.
It might. It might.
There's
also
only
might
one
not.
other guy whose number's retired. I really don't like this answer though. Baseball Reference does typically give more love to the fielders. Oh boy, Frank White.
Good answer. Not in there either. He was
Oh,
just
wow.
outside that top 5 as well.
All right, we got a
So-
chance to steal.
Brian and Kitty have a chance to steal and get right back into this game.
It was just
This
a
is-
few weeks ago we were bitching about who was in the Hall of Fame for the Royals because they're
Uh-huh.
trash.
Uh-huh.
Now we gotta
That's true.
gotta try to remember
got-
these names.
Right.
Oh,
We
God.
got to do some quick math before
You have anybody on your list that pops out at you?
Did John Mayberry play here long enough?
I had him written down. Don't know if he was long enough. I had Hal McRae written down because maybe
Oh, that's a good
back
one.
to some of the old timers that played a while.
Yeah, he did play.
One guy had, because I think a lot of the other newer guys besides Gordon just didn't have enough.
Longevity
time.
here. Yeah.
Like Greinke probably would have easily been on this list if he had stayed here, but he left so
all right,
early.
need an answer.
I like Hal McRae. Let's do that.
All right.
Hal McRae is incorrect.
Ah, shit.
Royals Farm Report takes it down. Last answer, Mark Gubicza,
Goobs?
the Gooby,
Okay.
the Goobinator with 38 WAR. Apparently beat out Alex Gordon, Frank White, and all the Hal McRae's of the Royals ilk. So
Did he pitch 38 seasons here?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
He was one of my favorite broadcasters, though. I really like him for the Angels
Yep, he is
broadcast
good.
team.
I didn't realize he's played that long to accumulate that much for us.
Mhm. I met him apparently, allegedly. I don't think I've told this story yet. I was at when I was in college, I was at a gas station in Grain Valley, and I was filling up my car, and some drunk guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, man, do you know who I am?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't know who you are." He's like, "I'm Mark Gubicza." It's like, "All right, sounds good." Like, "Hey, I need a ride back to my hotel. Can you give me a ride?" I was like, "No, don't really want to do that." He's like, "Well, if you come up, I'll give you a bunch of autograph stuff." I was like, "I don't want to do that." He's like, "All right, man, have a good night." So I may or may not have met Mark Gubicza in a Grain Valley gas station.
You did not meet Mark Gubicza. I'm gonna go
I
with
met
that.
Mike Gubicza.
You met just a random dude with long black hair that was drunk as shit in Grain Valley. It was
I
not
mean,
Mark Gubicza.
Wouldn't be the first long black haired guy I met drunk in a Grain Valley gas station.
Yeah. About to get robbed.
Yep. So
You're
far,
Robbed or sexually assaulted. Those are your two options in that.
I
night.
mean-
you chose door 3.
Or
Neither. So
A
good
bunch
No.
of
move.
or a bunch of autographs.
Yeah, I guess
mean,
there's,
yeah.
door 4.
we did talk about if you buy one lottery ticket, you might as well be 5 or might as well buy 20. So I mean, that's kind of that's the territory we're in.
Yep.
So far, Royals Farm Report podcast and RoyalsFarmReport.com, 315 points to nothing so far. So It's an impossibility that you guys are going to catch them after
Okay.
this. So we're going to keep playing anyways.
Sure we are.
Because this category is going to be very fun in and of itself. So we're back to Joel and Brian as a showdown. So as usual, give me your names if you think you got an answer for this question. What are the 4 franchises that have traded with the Royals the most?
Brian.
Go.
Brewers.
Oh, go.
Wait, it was Brian. I think it was Brian's guess.
Oh, well, I said my name first. Fuck off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, mine. Okay, all right. Not in mine. Not in mine. But
Come on,
whatever.
host.
The host heard Brian. I'm just saying.
I just
Maybe
yelled
your
loud.
mic cut out.
He
Joel,
said
you
Brewer,
say
I believe. Yep.
Brewers.
Yeah.
Brewers is number 2 on the list. Very well done. Brian, can you give me number 1?
I think he gets to choose either way, doesn't he?
No,
You can still get number one
You can
answer.
still go
You
number-
could choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we get it.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays not on here.
Okay, that's great.
The Brewers and the Royals have completed 28 trades in their time. Joel, do you guys want to play or pass this category?
I mean, well, let's play. Why not?
Yeah, go for it. And I like it.
Yeah, make us look real bad by sweeping
Yep.
this one too.
Yeah. You only YOLO once. That's what I've always heard. So we got 3 more franchises that have completed a lot of trades with the Royals. Alex, do you have any other guesses outside the Brewers and whatever wrong answer Brian gave?
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Santana just hit a home run. Is that cool?
Ooh,
cool.
I saw the score was 6-4. Is that updated? Obviously.
Yeah, 6-7-5 now.
Hmm.
Okay, so Milwaukee's out of the way. Let's go with the Oakland Athletics.
Not on this list. I do have them on here. They have completed 20 trades with the Royals. So another good guess there.
So wait, so Milwaukee was second at 28.
Yep.
Oakland on the list at 20. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
They were just on the outside. Joel, back to you.
The Yankees.
No, and who cares about the Yankees?
Fair enough. I was just thinking about a team that's been around for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Since,
can
like,
see your.
1969, so it's
Yep.
been a bit.
They've completed 12 trades with the Yankees.
Well, okay.
Yep. So understandable where you got there. Back to Alex.
Oh, we traded Carlos Beltran to the Astros. We got John Mayberry from the Astros too, didn't we?
I'm not sure about that. Sounds good to me, though.
Sure, it sounds good to me too. Houston Astros.
They are not on this list either. According to Baseball Reference, there were only 13 trades with the Houston Astros. So just above the Yankees, but not quite enough to get in this top 10. Brian and Kitty have a chance to steal 60 points.
Oh, huge.
And more importantly, to get on the board and not make this a huge embarrassment.
I mean, this is just. I'm thinking Atlanta,
I have the Braves written down here as well.
just because there's so many cross pollination with front office types with Atlanta and the Royals feels like, so they know each other organizations pretty well. So let's want to go with Atlanta.
Yeah, they're not an expansion team like my dumbass picked.
Hey, that was good because I didn't eliminate one of these answers for these guys. It was a perfect pick, really.
Yeah.
Let's go Atlanta.
Atlanta is number 4. You win.
Yeah.
60 points. Congratulations, boys. They completed 22 trades with the Atlanta Braves.
Are the Reds on there?
The Reds are not on here. There is an NL Central team. The Pittsburgh Pirates apparently have done 28 trades with the Royals. Can anybody remember the last one? Because I sure can't.
Mm-mm.
They didn't trade for Eddie Volquez, right? That was a free agent signing.
That was a free agent. Yeah, I have no idea.
I couldn't tell you the last one with the Pirates.
That's
and
your
then
job.
No, I'm not that far in the background. I got enough to do on my plate. Okay. Number 1 with a bullet is the New York Mets at 38
I
trades.
thought about the Mets.
Wow.
Yep.
Sure. I remember
wrote them
doing
down,
deals with
but I
them all the time.
Yeah.
I was debating between the Mets and the Yankees, but I went Yankees.
Yep. I could see the logic in both of those for sure. But
I guess Khalil Lee counts, doesn't he?
yep,
And
I
go,
would
yeah.
say that counts. Yeah, definitely does. So yeah, that was not an embarrassment, but it was. It still
Yeah.
kind of was.
Since we won by such a big margin, like, we're the co-host with Josh now, right? Is that how
I
that
think
works?
That's right.
I think
legally,
you just took our spots.
yeah. It's how it goes. But hey, there's always next time, guys. It was nice doing this with you for 71 episodes, but it was bound to happen. That something was going to come between us, and that something was the Royals Farm Report. So let's move on to the waiver wire. We've got a fun draft here that I think could bring up some more sparkage. So let's get into that here.
Watch your waiver wire.
Sounds a little hot. It sounds a little hot this time, so maybe we need to calm that down in editing if we don't do that, because it's very possible we won't do that. Apologies in advance.
Your eardrums.
That was also bound to happen. We were going to destroy somebody's eardrums at some point in this. The waiver wire draft this week is the athletes that we all hate. That there could be a plethora of reasons why, but there's just those athletes that you just cannot stand. And we're going to go through some this week. So not only are we gracious hosts, but they just earned the spot for the top 2 picks. So Alex and Joel are going to lead off. Let's say in that order, with Alex taking the number 1 spot, and then Joel, then me, because you guys are such an embarrassment. And then we'll go with Judy and then Brian. So let's do that. Alex, you're leading off here. Go ahead. What's your number 1 athlete that you hate?
Number 1 with a bullet is I don't know how far I want to go with the name calling. So we'll go with Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is the worst good athlete ever.
Yep.
He doesn't do anything exceptional on the field of play. He's just a royal douchebag.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think it would be one thing if it was the winning, but then coming out and have the balls to being like, people doubted us the last few years. Shut up, man.
Like, and always surrounding yourself with like elite defenses.
Yeah.
Like claiming like that you did anything just irritates me. Like the lack of self-awareness there.
If the Chiefs have one healthy offensive tackle in that game, it's the score's reversed.
Even if the Chiefs just catch a few footballs in that game.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Most overrated athlete of all time.
The most system quarterback.
And he's going to go down as the GOAT.
No, he's not.
For the next 15 years or so.
No, the boomers thought Derek Jeter was good. People think Tom Brady's good.
I love this.
Just
Starting off with a bang.
Yeah, that's some takeage. Joel, number 1 for you.
Is this an F-bomb friendly podcast?
We're PG-13, so we're allowed 1, I think, is where we're at.
Can I
he already
take
dropped
it here?
1.
Did we?
So
Okay.
we got to
Oh,
Joel,
caught one already? Damn. All right. All right. That stupid asshole Alex Rodriguez. There we go.
I think that's sufficient. Stupid asshole is welcomed with open arms on the Clearing Waivers podcast.
He's just so unlikable, man. Like for 25 years, he's been nothing but unlikable. Like, can you name one good thing? Maybe dating Jennifer Lopez. Like that's about
that's the thing. That's the self-sabotage. I mean, he did it. He ended that too because he's an idiot.
Yep.
Right. Well, then they go on this now. They're doing this. Oh, he's an announcer redemption tour. Like, I don't want to hear from him. Get him off the air too.
I'm sorry.
I don't. He made $250 million in that one contract. He's got enough money. But I don't need to hear from his milquetoast opinions for the rest of my life too. This is BS.
Here's the thing. He hit 696 home runs in his big league career. And he has the balls to be on air advocating for dudes to sacrifice bunt. He had 12 in his entire career. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. If you quit 4 shy of 700 anything, I don't care what you're doing. If you quit 4 shy, you are the worst.
Yeah. I like that justification in and of itself. Yeah.
Oh, one of his I remember hearing about this when I lived in Seattle. But one of his contract demands, because the Mariners thought about re-signing him when he hit free agency, and he said, "Move the fences in at Safeco so I can hit more home runs."
Oh wow, that's fun.
I mean, that I don't hate that. I honestly am fine with that.
If you need any reason, there's a YouTube page out there called Baseball Doesn't Exist, and there is a half-hour video about why everyone hates Alex Rodriguez.
Like
most of his other videos are about 15 to 20 minutes long. This is a half-hour video.
It's a 30 for 30.
from the time that he gets drafted by the Mariners in 93 or 94 all the way to now. And it's a half-hour video about how unlikable this dude is.
Awesome.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun knowing that a lot of the comps to Bobby Witt Jr. coming out of high school was indeed Alex Rodriguez. So I think he's got a bit of a more likable personality, but you never know.
Smidge.
Speaking of likable personalities and just shitty shortstops, Carlos Correa can eat all of the dicks. So it's one thing to have this Astro scandal. It's one thing you have the Altuves that are really sorry about it, and you can legitimately see that he's sorry about it. You have the Bregmans who are just like, yeah, it happened. Yeah, it sucks. Whatever, let's move on. And then you have the heel, Carlos Correa, who is embracing this role as an asshole. He is a smug prick that is just skyrocketing up lists of the most hateable people in sports, period. And considering he was so shitty that year, he didn't even benefit from it, and he's embracing it like, yeah, suck it. It's like, you're the worst person. You're the worst, Carlos Correa. You're the worst.
We'll always have off Correa and into center field.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's huge. That's such a nice thing to have.
Great point.
Well,
I might have another guy that we could potentially have one of those moments on here. We'll to see who the race to get to him. We'll see what happens here. Kitty, you're up.
I'm gonna be true to my Kansas City roots, and I'm gonna go Yadi Molina. Can't stand that guy. Just I cannot stand him. This is for you, Summer. Can't stand him.
I think for me, it's the smugness of you can't have any fun on a ball field, but I'm going to carry my bat up the first base line on a walk-off single,
launch it 80 feet into the air. Yeah, that's shit right there. You're done. You're a complete hypocrite, and I can't stand you. How dare you be the baseball fun police and then go and do crap like that? You can't have it both ways, Yachty. Oh, and then how about baseballs just get stuck on my chest protector because I got so much damn pine tar in the damn thing, so I can help my pitchers get more spin on the ball. The guy sucks. Sucks. And I hate the fact that he's going to be in the damn Hall of Fame. It's going to sully the whole institution.
The fact that he just stood there smiling with that ball stuck to his chest protector.
Yeah,
that was
happens.
So much worse.
Ball just gets stuck there for fun. That happens.
It's really funny, guys. It was really funny.
Look at me.
At the same
look at
time,
me. I'm cheating. I'm cheating for my pitchers.
I bet those baseballs didn't get sent for further investigation.
Nope.
Brian?
Well, I'm just going to stick to bat flips that drove me insane, too. And I'm going to Chi-Town. Tim Anderson. You can kiss my ass. I'm not an anti-Tim Anderson guy in general, but that time gave grounds to the most annoying sports talks and takes for the next week about should he be suspended, should he be able to flip his bat, blah, 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 blah. And, I mean, I'm all for flipping bat celebrating, but the celebration needs to match the moment. This was in the fourth inning of an April baseball game, and both teams were losing records at the time. You're not going anywhere. So he flips his bat in the fourth inning. Keller takes offense, hits him, blah, blah. Then we get to hear MLB Network for the next week get everybody's takes on this fucking – sorry, I did it again.
Oh, God.
Did it again.
Oh, God.
So then I get to hear these talking heads that don't know anything about the situation say, hey, if you don't want him to flip his bat, get him out. Hey, everybody, coming into that at bat, he was 0 for 13 against Brad Keller with 5 Ks. He couldn't hit him. And he finally gets a hit, so he gets to celebrate like a psycho in the fourth inning? No, not on my watch. So I'll forever hate Tim Anderson, and I forever hate the Chicago White Sox fans because after that moment in their brain somehow they got that Tim Anderson is Brad Keller's daddy for some reason, even though Keller's owned him his whole career, batting 118 against him. So I don't want to hear about it. I had way too much anxiety the other night when Keller was pitching against the White Sox. Thank Christ Tim Anderson was injured. I didn't have to face that matchup, but my heart was racing the entire time because I did not want them to beat Keller up. And by God, it was a tough night.
This
Tim
is
Anderson.
so cathartic. I absolutely love this.
There's a really good chance that Brian's whole draft board is Chicago White Sox.
Funny you should mention that. So let's go right into pick number 2. Pick number 2, we're staying on right in the Chicago, and his name's Adam Eaton, the most annoying baseball player I've ever watched in my life. His nickname is Spanky, for God's sakes. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about an annoying baseball player, his nickname is Spanky. Just so annoying. And he has these moments like he had the other day on second base where he shoves the guy like half-ass, like such a bitch move, trying to start a fight, and he doesn't really want to fight because he's a little bitch. And just a real Spanky a move of him. So I need to get Spanky.
We're going off the rails so fast.
We've got the Schlansky reference, and now we're most definitely making Spanky a real thing moving forward.
Yep.
Classic Spanky.
I hate the Chicago White Sox now.
And of course, he was the one who got us the other night too.
Oh yeah,
he had to be the one to hit that dinger.
Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, classic Spanky.
Okay,
back to Kitty.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the NFL, and I'm going with my most hated Pittsburgh Steeler, and that's Hines Ward.
No,
that dude was the dirtiest player that got no smoke for being dirty.
Yeah. He was a great blocker, Kitty. Great blocker. And you just can't teach
blindside blocks where you break the dude's jaw. Great blocking. That's just part of the game.
Yep.
I mean, the dude was dirty as can be. Oh, he'd take his helmet off and smile. So, oh, good old Hines Ward. Oh, look at him. He's just having a great time out there breaking jaws. Yay. The worst. I hate him.
Man, there's so much.
Get him out of the Hall of Fame. Get him out of the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm gonna be on the new board of directors for every Hall of Fame, and I'm taking guys I hate out.
They can't be so
wings for guys I hate. There we go. Hines Ward, you're in the separate wing.
There was I think it was a superpowers draft where you were just willing to kill everybody that you didn't like. So now you're just gonna vote them out of the Hall of Fame, which is it's a real growing moment for you, Kitty.
Progress.
Well
done. I mean, yeah. This is something I can achieve, I think. So I'm gonna try to ground this in somewhat of reality here, where I just kick them out of the Hall of Fames.
Well, my next pick is going to be outside of baseball. We've got a lot of baseball represented. I'm going to pass over the one that's next two on my draft board. So hopefully they'll come back around to me. But as a Mizzou basketball fan, there was always one guy in my bane of my existence, and that's Kirk Heinrich. Boy, I tell you, he had the perfect combination of kills my favorite team and a punchable face. On a scale of 1 to 10, his face is a 50 on punchability. I hate Kirk Heinrich. I hated how smug and shitty he looked in the NBA. Still had an NBA career. Good for you, asshole. I almost dropped another F-bomb. Sorry, Max. I mean, this is going to get off the rails. This is going to happen in this draft. But Kirk Heinrich can suck on a bunch of sour lollipops for all I care.
Yep.
Yeah, just the old hair straight down, way almost to his eyebrows. It just looked annoying.
It was natural. Like, you knew he got out of bed. He did one of these, and then he hit 45-foot 3-pointers that daggered us.
Exactly. Those are the worst guys.
That's Kirk Heinrich's existence is just to murder Mizzou basketball dreams. So that's my pick. Back to Joel.
Okay, I'm going Baker Mayfield. And this is not just the NFL. I said I'm an Oklahoma State fan. That dude caused me so much pain for 3 years in college, watching that chubby little midget run around the field and make all of these play action rollout throws to wide open receivers because Lincoln Riley's the greatest play caller of all time. And then he goes and gets his ass arrested because he ran from the cops in Arkansas. That was the best hit anyone ever put on him in college.
He did. He got a good lick. That was a good lick.
It was a form tackle, head across, everything. It was perfect. Yeah, that dude caused me so much pain in college. And then to watch him be the #1 pick and watch everyone that's an OU fan in this stupid state that I live in become OU fan or become Cleveland Browns fans out of nowhere. Everyone's wearing Baker Mayfield jerseys. I don't get if the Browns and the Chiefs are playing on the same time slot on CBS. I don't get to watch it in Oklahoma. I have to watch the Browns.
Wow.
Because enough people in Oklahoma complain to the networks to get Browns games.
Oh, that
is tough.
Rough.
And then I have to watch him in the NFL, and it's a no-win scenario because if he wins, then he's the second coming of Christ in Norman, Oklahoma. And if they lose, well, it's the Browns. The Browns or whoever. So it was a no-win scenario to begin with.
It's
And then to
OBJ's
watch him-
fault.
And then, well, I do get a little smug grin every time Colin Cowherd does a segment about Baker Mayfield on the herd. But it's the, Baker's becoming really good because he has a great offensive line and he has a great running game and a good offensive play caller, and they can run play action and he can throw 15 times a game. Maybe you're not a good quarterback if you have to have all these caveats to become a good quarterback.
Yeah. Seems like we've covered somebody that's of the similar ilk.
Mm-hmm. Sure have. Right off the bat.
Tom,
Yeah, as a Bengals fan, I'm really I'm in on the Baker Mayfield hate.
There we go.
Get him
I
out
like
of here.
it. Very good. Alex, back to you.
I was gonna go with so it's hard for me to hate people that the Royals got their revenge on. There's a certain second baseman that comes to mind.
Uh-huh.
We got
Uh-huh.
our revenge on him with the Ofer. I'm gonna go with Trey Mason because
Ooh.
I was at the game in Atlanta in 2013, or was that winter right at 2014?
Yep.
The first SEC championship game Mizzou played in. And I will wake up sometimes in a cold sweat with Trey Mason running laps in the hallway outside my room. I swear he is. And he's never there.
Yeah.
I can't not see him splitting B gaps
Yeah.
because the Mizzou only had 3 down linemen. They wouldn't stop doing it. It was just Trey Mason, hey diddle diddle, right up the middle for 44 more.
Yeah.
I don't know if people remember this, but the Mizzou may have had a lead in the fourth quarter of that game. I can't remember if it was in the fourth quarter, right before heading into it. They were winning. They were going to the national championship game. That was like 4 times in my life. Mizzou has almost made it to the national championship game.
Mm-hmm.
They got the next guy on my list. We're coming back to him. And then, oh man, what was it was Oklahoma. It was Auburn. It was Alabama. I felt like there was a fourth one. Maybe it's just those 3 times. I felt like there's another one in the Big 12 that I'm not remembering because I'm so angry about we're getting ready to go.
Blind rage.
No, it was the same guy twice in a row. So we're getting to there. So I will explain that one in a minute. I'm going right into it. Sam Bradford. That dude,
Uh-huh.
I hope Sam Bradford's football career rots in a blue hell. Screw that guy. He never did anything good. And he's sitting here on this list of Big 12 championship game MVPs 2 years in a row for being painfully mediocre, and then goes on to sign the biggest signing bonus in history. They had to change the rule because of this guy.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's horrible. And it was his fault that for 4, God damn it, Mizzou, 4 times in my life, they were 1 game away from the national championship game. I don't think people realize this. We were 1 game away from Mizzou in West Virginia in the national championship game. It was going to be Chase Daniel and it was going to be Pat White playing for the national championship. And Sam Bradford messed it up twice. 2 years in a row he did that. And then Trey Mason, 6-7 years down the line, running in an Auburn uniform up and down the field. That dude was a
Did
track
he
star
run
that
for
day.
400 yards in that game?
Really good at it. He
Don't
made
wanna-
I think he
Don't wanna
ran for
know
like
the answer to that.
400 yards.
something like that. Alabama, we were never going to beat Alabama, but still, you win that game, you're 1 game away. But oh my God, Trey Mason and Sam Bradford give me a freaking headache.
Yep.
You could probably credit both of them with getting football out of St. Louis too.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't hate them anymore. They can stay. Never mind. That's a good
Oh.
point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Trey Mason did nothing. I can't remember when he was drafted. I don't think he was drafted high, but he did nothing. It almost made it like more sour for Mizzou fans because it's like this guy was an absolute He-Man for an entire season and then did nothing. Whatever. Joe, final pick.
All right. I'm going to go with Patrick Reed. Any
Ooh.
golf fans here?
Yeah, Kitty.
yes,
Big golf guy.
yes. Oh my God, that guy's go on,
Dude.
do it. I'm in.
So and this is also a deep cut Oklahoma State jab too, because back when he was in college, when he went to Augusta University or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But before that, he was at Georgia, got kicked off the team because he lied on his scorecard. He transfers to the University of Augusta, where he plays Augusta National for his. He carried that team to the national championship, which was held at Carson Creek Golf Club in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where Oklahoma State plays. It was one of the best Oklahoma State teams ever. And Patrick Reed single-handedly carried Augusta University to a national championship in Stillwater. People around here hate him. And then he goes and wins the Masters, and no one was excited about it. No one was happy. There was not a single person that when Sergio Garcia gave him the green jacket, it was the most awkward green jacket ceremonies of all awkward green jacket ceremonies. And whenever he wins, no one that follows golf is like, "Oh, good for Patrick Reed."
No.
No one likes him. No, not even on tour. When you make Bryson DeChambeau not like you, you're doing something seriously wrong.
Good point.
Yeah, there was his wife. They're pretty sure it's his wife that has a burner Twitter account, and she did after Dustin Johnson won the Masters. She said it shouldn't count if there's no fans rooting for you. So then someone replied back, so should Patrick Reed give back his green jacket too?
Normally, like when you walk up
complete
to that
complete burn on Patrick Reed.
Oh,
it was fantastic.
When you walk up to that 18th green and everyone's cheering for you because you know you're going to win the Masters, like that's going to be one of the best ones in the world. I don't think anyone was. It was the most awkward 18th green when Patrick Reed walks up and everyone's just like, "This guy really?"
And then he's got this plugged live BS out at Torrey Pines this year. Like, come on, this guy's a cheating bum.
He's the worst.
No one likes him.
Plus, he's American, so you know Kitty's out on him.
That's why I got that European flag or European map behind me.
Big Euro guy.
When you piss off people in the gentleman's sport, you're really, really an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think these guys really care about steroids in the sport, but you turn a 5 into a 4, you're the enemy of the people, and you're done. No one likes you forever.
Yeah.
Right. Cannot compromise the integrity of the game, boys. That's what we know. My next pick, I'm going to do it. Josh Donaldson is the worst, and on my draft board, the third worst. There are not many guys. I know Joel and Alice listen to Starting Nine. Brian, I know you're in on it too. Any guy that comes on that podcast, they can turn into a likable guy, unless he's Josh Donaldson. And I came out there hating him after his interview more than I hated him before, and I already hated him. He's just a punk bitch, is what he is. He's like eating Spanky ×4, in my opinion. He's just so hateable. I hate him. I love the Salvi got a pass. I love that he was the guy that got him in that wild card game. But Jesus, Josh Donaldson, I hate him. I think it's like the smartest guy in the room kind of mentality from him that I don't like. Like when he thinks he's like the king of knowing hitting. Yeah.
I get it. You're a good hitter. You change your swing and turn yourself into an all-star. I get it. And I will say the one redeemable thing about him was him on MLB Network looking at kids and going, "If your coach tells you to get on top of the ball, tell him no." That's like the one thing he's ever done that I thought was hilarious and good. But yeah.
I still hate him.
Even a blind hog finds an acorn now and then, so no worries.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's the old saying I've heard in my days.
Oh yeah, I was my old college professor said that all the time. Oh, that's hilarious.
I like it. Kitty, what's your last one here?
And I'm gonna go with the guy I believe touched off this draft or got the ball rolling in our idea process. And I'm going Justin Turner. Ooh. Hate his stupid long hair, hate his stupid beard, hate everything about him, his dumb face. I just can't stand the way the guy looks. He doesn't really done nothing on a baseball field for me to dislike him. He just seems to be a workaday guy, goes about his business, solid player, but I hate him. I don't know what it is. I hate him.
Interesting. I don't think anybody. I think you're the only one. Yeah, this is completely irrational. I think.
It's an irrational hatred of Justin Turner that I have for some reason. Maybe it's because they kept comparing him to the Game of Thrones guy, and I was just like, Justin Turner sucks compared to a guy on Game of Thrones. So maybe that just really got me going, but I just can't stand him.
He's not worthy.
He's not. He's terrible.
What a backdoor way of like an origin story of hatred.
They're to a fictional character.
He's not nearly as good as Tormund. Get him out of here. Justin Turner.
Tormund.
Get out of here.
God.
Interesting.
Boo you, Justin Turner. Boo you.
Very good. All right, Brian, bring us home with some hot flamage here.
All right, boys, I got to stay true to my board. Joel's not going to like this one, but number 3 on my board is Marcus Smart. I cannot stand to watch Marcus Smart play basketball. He's the worst
Cry.
flopper ever.
Cry.
Jesus, you want to talk about crying? That guy he'll have a dirtiest foul you'll ever see in a night, and then he looks at the refs like, "Who, me? How could you call that on me? Oh my God!"
First team all defense.
God, he's so annoying.
The backflip on the Jayhawk will live on forever.
Yeah, that
A
was
couple of you
those
guys can
days.
appreciate that.
I respect
can.
those.
As the purple shirt shows, yeah, I can respect that.
Yep. My hate for him mostly came after college.
Fair enough.
I can't handle it.
Yeah, he's one of the whinier NBA guys. It's a real problem in the NBA of anytime someone commits a foul and the ref blows the whistle, they all look. Well, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And the replay shows them just slapping the hell out of the guy's forearm. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. This isn't obvious. What are you looking at the ref for? Why are you upset about the ref?
To be fair, Brian, at least Marcus Smart's one of the 8 guys in the NBA that actually gives a damn about trying to play defense. So can you at least give him that?
I suppose it's the 1 out of every 3 times where he doesn't try to play defense. He just falls down and wants a foul called. That's not really playing defense.
I was trying to
also fair.
think of a guy to add to my draft board, but it was just I couldn't find just one. It seemed like it was an entire league's worth of guys
Oh
to
yeah.
have to do that.
Patrick Beverly up there too.
So, mhm.
Oh, God, yeah.
Actually, I don't hate him.
Oh, you would.
Oh, you would.
Is he from Euroball? Is that why? Is that what it is?
No, he's not. No.
You're not from France. You're not a big Tony Parker guy.
Oh, Tony Parker, Rudy Gobert. Come on, France, keep him coming.
Oh boy.
Thoughts on Harry Kane, Kitty?
Oh, Eric Kane's a real tosser. I'll tell you that.
I knew I was gonna get something out of you for that.
A real sheep shagger.
Oh, he's a real sheepshagger and a tosser. That Harry Kane.
Guys,
That's,
PG-13. PG-13.
It's true. It's true.
That's right.
All the stops are being pulled tonight. That
Gotta
was
go British slang to get out of the way.
as fun of a draft as I was hoping it was going to be. Hopefully we can get our blood pressure readings down a little bit after, and hopefully we can just get some good rest tonight. We gotta clear it, and like Joel said, a little cathartic. So maybe we exercise some demons, but at the same time, they're always going to live in our hearts as the bane of our existences. But that's going to do it here for the Clearing Waivers podcast this week. We need to thank our guests again. Go check out their work at Royals Farm Report. Great stuff on that site. So also, if you're hearing us, you're probably already listening to the Royals Farm Report podcast. Definitely get you plugged into that Royals Farm system as well. So guys, keep up the good work there. You guys can find Joel on Twitter at JT Pinfield on Twitter, and Alex is at Royals Farm on Twitter. Go give those dudes a listen. We keep up the good work, and we appreciate having you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on. That was a ton of fun.
For sure. You find us at social medias at Clearing Waivers. We appreciate everybody joining us once again. If you like what you hear, go tell a friend, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us a follow, interact with us. We always like talking to you guys on the social medias. But other than that, for Brian and Kitty, we appreciate you one more time. Josh, ta-ta for now.